All right, so just to start off, the only transaction was Shaq Thompson at this point. He'll be on PUP. The rest of the guys passed their physical, so we're in good shape.
Everybody reported who was supposed to.
Everyone that said they were going to be here is here, yeah. Rashaan Melvin has a personal thing, so he may come or may not, so working on that.
May not come at all.
He's just working through his personal thing. But everybody else is here, no issues. All right, any questions?
Matt, sorry, Scott, you talked about first day of retiring.
Wow.
You talked
That's
about,
an insult to Matt. Man.
You talked about possibly adding a DT or defensive end before training camp. Has anything been?
Yeah, we made our calls yesterday. It's something we're still looking into. We'd like to add a big body, pass rusher, that type. So.
But nothing shaken?
Nothing imminent right now.
The competition theme reminds me a little bit of what you used to hear in Seattle. Pete Carroll's big on that. I mean, are you seeing any parallels with where this team is at to where maybe Seattle was before, the run they had?
Yeah, it does. It feels a lot like, the 2012, team. One thing that, Matt, his staff, our personnel staff wanted to do this offseason was create competition at every position. Offensive line, tight end, running back, all those things are really important for us to do. And we went out and I thought we did that.
Scott, looking ahead a little bit, but preseason only 3 games, and you really do have some quarterback decisions to make. How do you feel like that'll be structured? I mean, you play for all 4 quarterbacks in preseason?
Yeah, it's hard to get all those guys reps. Coach will work through that with them. I know he's going to talk to them first. He and Ben, Sean Ryan will come up with the system. So I think it's probably better to leave to Matt to say how he's going to divvy it up. But I think what it's going to come down to is everybody will get a fair shot. We'll get a good look. And it'll play out. It'll become obvious over time.
Scott, you guys have had some defensive linemen in for workouts the last couple of months. How keyed in are you guys on definitely adding somebody this training camp, and what are you kind of looking for if you do?
Yeah, I think we have good players on our team right now. We like the guys that we have. I do think we need one more big body. Guys tend to get hurt, throughout camp. I think we do need a little bit more of a normal, like a traditional pass rusher. So I think we'll do that.
One of each. Mention a big.
Yeah. Ideally, we'd add 1 defensive tackle, 1 defensive end.
More specifically, are you guys still in on Dunlap, or is it something that you can't really disclose right now?
Yeah, he's one of the calls we made. We've made several calls yesterday. Carlos is a heck of a player, and of course, we're still interested.
And Danny Shelton.
Yeah, we had Danny in yesterday. Didn't sign him, but door will stay open. But we couldn't sign him yesterday.
Is there a timetable on any moves like that? Like, obviously, you want to get the quarterbacks in sooner to learn the offense. Defensive guys may be a little different. Is there any urgency or timetable on bringing in bodies like that?
Yeah, I think not an urgency, but I think we're going to bring those guys in. We'll have workouts. Really, a lot depends on these vets and when they want to sign. Sometimes they want to hold out for a couple weeks, see if there's an injury somewhere. So it's really when it fits for them and for us.
Scott, other than increased competition maybe at a lot of positions, what else do you see as differences here between 2021 and 2022?
I really like the vibe of this team. There's a great energy to this group as a whole. I was in a team meeting a second ago, and everybody's like hugging each other and genuinely happy to see each other. That's something that's not always there. This is like a natural thing, and to me, that's really one of the biggest things, to have a strong team like that.
How would something like that develop, that vibe? Is it through the coaching staff? Is it the way you select your players?
I think it's everything. I think it's leadership on the team. Guys like Shaq, guys like Christian, the way our coaches handle it, the players we bring in. It's all of it, and it's got to happen naturally, and it is. And it's really exciting to see.
Scott, you seemed to indicate when you signed Mayfield that would allow somebody like Matt Corral to kind of learn and develop this year, because you got 2 veterans ahead of him. But Matt doesn't seem to be buying into that right now. He wants to compete for the starting job.
You know what? We want them all competing. We all want them to have the mindset, I have an opportunity to start here. There's no pressure on him to do it. We're going to allow him to learn. But he's in the mix. PJ's in the mix. You know, Sam, Baker, all of them. We're going to let it play out. But, you know, the thing is, we didn't want to put a lot of pressure on him early, but we love the fact that he has that competitive mindset.
And Matt Rule indicated, he referred to Russell Wilson when you were at Seattle, winning the starting job there in a similar situation maybe. Is there a similarity here between that at all? Or
Yeah, there's, you know, back then we had gone through like 3 or 4 quarterbacks. You know, Charlie Whitehurst, Matt Flynn that we paid money to. And then Russell comes in, and he just kept competing, and, you know, he earned the spot. And, you know, I think it helped that Pete and John Schneider had the mindset to stay open to that idea and let it play out. That's what happened.
Scott, I know it's a long time away, but is it likely that you'll keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster?
Yeah, it's a good chance. You know, that's something, when we get there, we'll cross that bridge. But I'll get with Matt and we'll work through it, but probably.
There's a lot of talk, of course, about the competition at the quarterback level. Are there any other position groups that you're looking forward to looking at the competition?
Yeah. You know, it's funny, Ben McAdoo came in this morning. He's talking about offensive line. You know, what's the lineup going to be? You know, it's going to be a tough cut. You know, you get to those 8th and 9th linemen, we're cutting good players. And a lot of those guys can start and play for us. So offensive line, tight end is a good one. Running back for that second spot between Chuba and Foreman. You know, the receivers, just how that's, you know, 1 through 5 there. Linebacker. I mean, there's competition across the board, and I think that's going to raise the level of everybody around us, and take us from here to here.
Speaking of offensive linemen, you guys kind of played musical chairs at that position, and just due to injuries and things like that last season, would that make you more inclined to keep more offensive linemen than you would in previous seasons?
No, I think, you know, we'll set that number, whether it's 8, it's traditional, or 9. You know, we're not going to cut a good player if we can sneak him through somehow, and we'll figure out how to do that. It's a good problem to have, though. I love the fact that we're in this situation.
With Shaq out, will you guys explore bringing in a linebacker at all, or do you like the group you have in the fact that it gives these young guys even more of an opportunity than they were going to have before?
Yeah, I think it's going to give our young guys an opportunity to get some run. We have enough numbers there right now that we're comfortable. You know, Shaq's going to be right in the middle of the room teaching those guys, working with them. He's a vet. It's going to help save his legs. So, it's a good thing right now.
Scott, it was about this time last year you guys extended Robbie. Where do you think things sort of went sideways with him last season?
I don't know if it really went sideways. You know, I just think our offense as a whole wasn't clicking. I don't think it was Robbie. I think it was just the whole thing was just kind of, it wasn't right. And I think it affected a lot of people outside of him. I think Robbie's in a good place. I saw him this morning. He's upbeat. He's happy. So we'll just go from there.
One of the players on that offense, Christian McCaffrey, what do you think needs to be done to keep him healthy throughout the season?
You know, I know Coach, they'll limit his reps. You know, we'll handle him in preseason a certain way. And, you know, I know Christian went out and he's got a program he's on. I'll let him get into that. But I think overall, I think the plan's been really good. And we'll see. Hopefully, he'll stay healthy this year. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Real good.
Is that you say Christian's on a program that he's developed? Or?
Yeah, I think he's got something he's done. He hasn't gone into detail with me, but I know he's gone through some things, and I mean, he studies everything, and he's the ultimate pro.
Yeah, he wouldn't tell us anything about it.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not going to tell you either. Partly because I don't know.
Is it one though that he does in conjunction with you guys, Scott, or is it sort of he sets it up?
Yeah, there's a lot of communication there, and yeah.